We naturally define ourselves by what our physical bodies can acquire, protect, and hold on to. But this constant need to defend material territory creates a psychological tension that eventually reaches a breaking point. The Raja Yoga philosophy identifies this state as body consciousness. When you link your identity to physical objects or status, you lock yourself into a cycle of maintenance. You have to continuously guard what you have, and the effort required to keep that grip leads to exhaustion and a persistent fear of loss. This chart illustrates the core problem: mapping a stable requirement for security onto a constantly fluctuating material reality. While the baseline we seek is horizontal and steady, material wealth moves in unpredictable waves. These two lines are structurally incapable of meeting. This materially obsessed treadmill is what the philosophy refers to as the old world, a system defined by physical limits and constant friction. The text, "The Throne of the Silent Soul," suggests a shift in perspective. Instead of trying to change the objects you are acquiring, it proposes changing who is doing the acquiring in the first place. To move past the anxiety of the physical world, the text argues for stepping outside the traditional framework of worldly ownership. The process begins with a specific repositioning of the self. The text states, "I am a peaceful soul seated on the throne of the forehead." This schematic identifies the spatial concept. The philosophy locates the command center of human consciousness in a space called the Berkudi, the point between the eyebrows. This is the seat of the soul. By focusing your sense of self away from the entire physical body and onto this single point of light, you establish a mental barrier. External noise loses its influence because the area of your identity that feels vulnerable has been concentrated and secured. Claiming this internal throne is the first step in separating your internal state from the chaos of the external world. Once seated on that throne, the text introduces the second shift, the declaration that nothing in this world belongs to the self, and that one operates only as a trustee. Looking at this logic model, we can compare two ways of relating to the world. An owner connects to assets with rigid, high-stress ties. A trustee, however, manages the same assets with the same care, but holds no personal claim to them. When the environment changes, those dashed lines absorb the shock. This allows you to interact with your career, family, and health with full attention, but without the emotional weight of the word mine. If the asset fluctuates, the trustee remains steady. By yielding the claim of ownership, you remove the handle that anxiety usually grips. Without the tie of personal possession, the fear of loss loses its structural anchor in the mind. There is a psychological vulnerability to this detachment. If you walk away from physical ownership, the mind requires a new anchor to prevent a sense of aimlessness. This is addressed in the final line of the text, finding safety under the canopy of remembrance of the Supreme Father, Shiv Baba. This canopy, or Chhatrachaya, is an active mechanism. Continuous, focused remembrance creates a spiritual defense system, acting as a shield for the mind's internal peace. This architectural schematic shows the relationship. A vertical connection to a divine source provides a specific type of protection. Because this connection is not based on physical objects, the fluctuations of the material world cannot penetrate the dome. This vertical connection completes the structure of inner stability, replacing fragile horizontal attachments with a single, durable point of focus. Look at how this drop of water moves across the lotus leaf. This illustrates the reality of the trustee framework. You still walk through the same environment, but you operate without its friction. No residue of the old world stays with you. When the fear of losing status is removed, a new kind of psychological agility emerges. You move through your daily responsibilities with a sense of lightness and clarity that was previously blocked by the weight of ownership. The transformation relies on three mechanics: claiming the mental throne, operating as a caretaker of assets, and maintaining that upward connection for stability. It brings us to the core paradox of the text. Safety is not found by acquiring more of the world. It is found when you choose to own nothing, and in that detachment, you find you have everything.